Well, yeah, you often hear the phrase, buy local. And when it comes to what you eat, like fresh produce and meat, you can actually taste the difference.
Very true. Kelly Wilson is here from Taste the Local Difference, which just launched here in Southeast Michigan and partners with Detroit's historic Eastern Market. Thanks for hanging out with us, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us about your organization, because we're all looking to buy local anything. It catches my eye, definitely.
Certainly, yeah. So Taste the Local Difference, we're a local food marketing company. We started up in Traverse City about 14 years ago. And we just launched in Southeast Michigan this past year. So we published this guide to local food. So it's a resource people can use to find farms, farmers markets, and restaurants that focus on local.
That's awesome.
Now, I see the headline here next to the pig. It says, do you respect the whole animal? And I said to Tati before the show, I do. I eat hot dogs. every last part of the pig gets used. So, I mean, explain what that means.
Yeah, so there's a wonderful feature article by one of our partner farmers in here explaining how to use every piece of the animal, right down to the bones and the snout, how you would use that in your everyday cooking and why that's important.
Okay.
All right. It's okay, Randy. It's okay.
Randy's like stressed out.
Like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe make a little bone broth. It's about to be fall, something.
Exactly.
So tell us why it's important to support local growers.
Right, that's a great question. So when you support local growers, you're reinvesting in the local economy, you're supporting local businesses, and you're essentially voting with your dollars to change our food system in a positive direction. And you're also getting a little bit more transparency. If you can talk to the farmer, you know where your food came from, you know where those tomatoes came from.
And when you go to the farmer's market, whether it's Eastern Market or the market by your house or whatever, how can you tell that something is truly local as opposed to outsourced from somewhere else?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And I think the best way to do that is to talk to the people who are behind the table and ask them those questions. As a farmer myself, I'm not afraid when people ask me, you know, how do I grow things? Where does this come from? Did you really grow it? And I think that's one of the best ways that you can determine that.
So will you kind of be able to pick it up? Do you think you could pick it up if someone wasn't telling the whole story?
I think so. I mean, we have in Franklin, 2 different farms show up along with some woodworkers and somebody selling hot dogs and that sort of thing. And it doesn't have to be a big market. I mean, between the 2 farms, we get everything we need on a Sunday morning with just a one-day market.
Yeah, and I would say the other thing for people to do too is this guide's also online.
Okay.
So you can search out the farms and the farmers markets and other local food resources by going to localdifference.org and finding it there as well.
Good stuff. So you're also in the matchmaking business, right? How does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So an example of what we would do for matchmaking, it's, let's say there's a business that is interested in investing in the health of their employees, and there's a CSA, so community supported agriculture farm, that's maybe interested in expanding their operation. We might connect the 2 of those businesses so that that organization, their employees get access to fresh local food from a local farmer, and that local farmer is able to then grow their business.
Good stuff.
I
love
thought you
a good
were
farm
like
share.
hooking up farmers with future.
That's farmersonly.com. Yeah, that's
Farmersonly.com. Funny stuff. These are your tomatoes from your farm?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Good stuff. Someone has their eye on those tomatoes right there.
These are mammoth. I mean, look at that.
They look beautiful.
Beautiful.
They look beautiful. You just informed me that it is tomato season. I was telling you guys about how my mom's tomatoes are growing and she's got tons and tons of them all over the place. But thanks for hanging out with us, Kelly.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So to learn more about Taste the Local Difference, visit their website, localdifference.org.
Can you subscribe to this, or where do you find it?
Yeah, it's a great question. So you can find it at farmers markets throughout the Southeast Michigan area. Up in Traverse City, this is our Northern Michigan guide. So we cover the UP, Northwest, Northeast, and then Southeast Michigan as well. There's also a list on our website of where you can find the guide.
Good stuff. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
After the show, check out the Tuesday market at Eastern Market. It's high time for Michigan produce right now, like corn, tomatoes, watermelon.
And you can stock up. It's open until 3 p.m. today. Tuesday market runs until the end of September.
Well, do you have an appetite for something more on the wild side of things, or perhaps you have desires to experience exotic wild thing places?
Why not? So we'll show you how you can have it all without leaving the D. Why not?